Um, Hello everyone. Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all. So here myself Srikanth. Okay. First of all, welcome to the InfoSec train. Okay. Myself Srikanth Renla. I'm working as information security corporate trainer, and I'm expert in computer science and engineering technology. Like I have achieved certifications like Azure Fundamentals, Network Plus, Security Plus, and from the EC Council CH version 11 certification. Okay, I have immense knowledge on OSI layers and TCP IP protocol suite and clear understanding of protocols. Like what are the protocols are functioning at each layer in terms of network security. Okay, so apart from this, I'm also expertise in the traffic sniffing and the traffic analysis with Wireshark and TCP dump, and good with analyzing the traffic patterns like port scans, fingerprinting, and ARP packets, and troubleshooting access control lists, and we can say common network problems. Okay, I do have great exposure and hands-on experience in exploiting the techniques like social engineering and client-side attacks and virus and backdoors. And also I have identifying the application related vulnerabilities based OAPS top 10 like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, these things. Okay, so this is about my professional experience. The day one, 'cause these are the concepts I'm going to cover today. What is information exactly and what is the security, and you can see difference between both of them, and coming to the information security and pillars of security. Okay, and we can say what are the information classification in the information security. So what are the levels we do have in the organizations when it comes to the information security. Yeah, and finally, examples and related threats about information security that we can go and we are going to cover in today itself. That is day one. So when it comes to the day two, okay, completely we can say network. We will be concentrating on network and security. So what is network? What are the networking concepts? What is the networking basic concepts? And what exactly the network security is? Okay, and benefits of network security, and what are the different types of network security, and what are the security devices we are using at network level, and authentication, right? Authentication and its importance we will be talking in the network and security. That is day two. Now day three, yes, day three we do have talking about malwares, and we are going to talk about few attacks. So now, what is malware? What are the different types of malwares? If malware is infected to your system, what will happen? And what are the mitigation tips we need to take? And types of viruses. Okay, so what are the different types of viruses? If virus is infected in your system, what will happen? And how to write a virus program. Okay, so how to defend against malwares, what are the mitigation steps, and what are the countermeasures we need to take, so that we will be discussing. So now, so this is bit about malwares. Next we do have cyber attacks, right? Different types of attacks at network level, like how we can do the ARP poisoning. Okay, once you done with the ARP poisoning, what will happen? Okay, what are the advantages if you're done with the ARP poisoning, what will happen? Okay, so next, MAC flooding. So what is DHCP starvation and DHCP snooping, and what is the MITM, man in the middle attack, and what is the DOS attack, and what is the DDoS attack? So we'll be talking about multiple attacks and what are the steps and what are the techniques used by the attackers, so that we will be discussing. At network level attacks we will be discussing in the third day, and we do have bit practical at day three. We'll be doing practical about how to do the ARP poisoning. Okay, how we can manipulate the ARP table, and how we can do the MAC flooding, how we can do the DHCP starvation, and how we can do the man in the middle attack, how we can perform DOS attack. Okay, these things will be seeing practical on day three. And coming to the day one, okay, so this is what content I'm going to cover in 3 days. When it comes to the data, okay, before we are going to talk about the information security and all, we need to aware of these terms and all, right? So what is data? So now my bigger question is how it is different from the information. Is this data and information both are same? Is there any difference to it? Yes, Akshay, perfect. Okay. Yes, Shimpas, perfect. Yes, cool. Yes, Shashi, yes, perfect. Now,
But
yes, yes,
they usually have four legs, strong and leaves are conflict.
yeah, please mute yourself, guys. Please mute yourself. So don't unmute yourself. Yes, yes, perfect. Now, when it comes to the data, when it comes to the data, okay, so data and information, right? These words, these two words, data and information, may look similar and many people use these words very frequently, but both have lots of difference between them, right? So when it comes to the data, so data are plain facts, okay? When data are processed or organized or structured, okay, when data is processed or organized or structured or presented in a given context, we can call it as that is information, right? Am I right? Yes. So we can say, coming to the data, data is unorganized and unrefined facts. Okay, data is, it can be anything, like it can be a raw fact. Okay, so coming to the information, information comprises processed organized data presented in a meaningful context. Okay, let's take an example for the data and information. Let's say, yeah, can anyone give the example for the data, example for the data in the chart, example for the data? Can anyone give the example for data? Yes, yes, perfect. Yes, great, great. Yes, info sector, it's data. Yes, perfect. Bank details, data. Yes, it can be anything, like it can be a raw fact, right? So data is an individual unit that contains raw materials, okay, which do not carry a specific meaning. Okay, it's simple a word. It's simple assent. It's a word, right? Information is a group of data that collectively carries a logical meaning. Okay, let's say, yeah, let's say Srikanth, okay, and the word 10, okay, and the word 100, the number 100. You can, these are individual words, right? These are individual data, okay. Let's say Srikanth got 10 marks out of 100, okay. So this is processed, there is a meaning to it, right? That is information, okay. Information is a group of data that collectively carries a logical meaning, okay. And here one more important about data and information: data does not depend on information, okay. Information depends on data. Cool with that? Cool with that sentence? Data does not depend on information. Information depend on the data. Yes, perfect. Right? So now raw data alone when it comes to insufficient for decision making. Okay. So whenever you want to take the decision making by taking and by using data, can we take the decision? Can we take the decision when it comes to the data? Nope. Yes, Bharat, right? We cannot we cannot take the decision by looking at raw data, right? But information is sufficient for decision making. Okay. Yes, the example for the data we can call it as students test score, okay, and the average of the score of the class in the information derived from the given data, okay. So that is information. So finally, what I would like to say is data is a collection of raw, unorganized facts that details like text, observations, figures, symbols, okay. When it comes to the information, information is processed and organized and structured data, okay. It provides a meaning, it provides a particular meaning to it, right? Yes, so that is data and information, right? Now, yes, when it comes to the data and information, yes, now one more bigger question is, what is sensitive information? We talk about information, right? What is sensitive information? You can hit the chat box and you can hit your answers in the chat. What is sensitive information? Confidential, Shimpa, yes, perfect. That needs to be shared with everyone, which cannot be shared with anyone. Okay, perfect. Bank details, medical details, yes. Secure information, yes. Alul, only certain people who get the access having some strategic value. Perfect. Yes. Giribabu, confidential, yes, perfect. Yes, cool. Yes. Coming to the sensitive information which cannot be shared. Yes, Bharat, perfect. Yeah. So sensitive information, one second, I will be moving to the next slide. Yes. You can see on the screen, this is information. So the data must be processed, and when it processed, that is, we can call it as information, right? So you can see on the screen that is information. So when it comes to the differences, you can see data exists in a raw format because of which further analysis needed to be able to draw a meaningful insight from it, right? And you can see information over here which has a meaningful content, right? That we can call it as the information. Now you can see when it comes to the sensitive information. So basically, sensitive information we can classify personal information, business information, classified information. Okay. So when it comes to the personal information, any data that can be linked to any individual, or if released, it could be result in the harm of the person. Okay, if that kind of personal information is relieved or released to somewhere, so that can be harm to that particular person, right? So the best examples, we can say examples of such information, we can say social security numbers like passport numbers, can we say biometric information and medical data, right? Yes, other numbers, yes, Sohan, perfect. And personally identifiable information, right? PII. Okay. So if that kind of information is stolen, it can result in personal information getting into wrong hands, and as well as identity theft, right? So these things we can call it as under personal information. Okay. So This is one kind of sensitive information we can say. When it comes to the business information, what can be the sensitive information, guys? When it comes to the business, what can be the sensitive information? Yes, yes, Shashi, perfect. Yes, yes, Akshay, perfect. Yes, Sohan, yes, yes, cool, yes, perfect. Yes, okay. Strategic plan, personal information. Yes, any information that is related to company, financial project, or so that it affect the business. Perfect, Praveen Kumar. Sales strategy, yes, 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 Sohan, it 100% perfect. Yes, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, customer information, logins. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yes, everyone is correct now. Yeah. So when it comes to the business, yes, company plans also we can say yes, perfect. When it comes to the sensitive information and when it comes to the business information, okay. So what can be the sensitive is like any data that would cause damage to a company, okay. If anyone accessed by a competitor, like if it is accessed by a competitor or a public, okay, so that can include financial data, trade secrets, supplier informations, like customer data, right? So we can say any kind of sensitive materials, okay, which can cause to the business, which can cause and which can harm to the company, right? So that kind of details we can call it as business information, right? Now when it comes to the sensitive information, what can be the classified information over here? What it means by classified? Yes, okay, okay. Yes, Praveen Kumar, perfect. Yes, yes, perfect. Labeled data, yes, 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 perfect. Yes, perfect. Yeah, cool. Yeah, thank you for your quick replies over here. Yeah, when it comes to the classified, any information that a government body restricts, okay, due to security concerns, like different levels of sensitivity exist, often with labeling such as restricted, such as secret, top secret, and confidential, right? So these are the labels when it comes to the information classification, right? So so this kind of information over period of time, this information is we can say declassified, and eventually we can say it made public once it has been considered that risk harm is past. Okay, so information can be classified, right? Like it will be tagged as restricted, secret, top secret, and confidential. Okay, so these things we can say it as sensitive information when it comes to the classified. Yes. So now, what is security, guys? What is security? What is security? The what is mean by security? The word security. Okay, which protect information. Okay, yeah, protecting the computer. Yes, perfect. Yes, yes, perfect. Yes, yes, yes. This protects by unauthorized persons. Okay, security is technology which protect all the analog and digital data and security devices. Yeah, how can travel the classified data like secret or top secret? Is there any security for that? Yes, we are going to discuss that. Yes. S- Yes. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So when it comes to the security, yes, make data safe. Yeah. When it comes to the security, the word security is defined as being free from danger, or we can say which we can feeling safe, right? Like what is the best meaning we can say for the security is we can say it measures taken to be safe or protected. Okay. So what are the measures we are going to take? That measure should be safe and protected, right? So that we can call it as security. Now the bigger question over here, what is privacy and what is security? What is the difference between them? What is the difference between them? So both privacy and security are crucial. Okay. So if you want to protect your personal information, what is the difference between privacy versus security? Yes. Yes. Perfect. Yeah. So when it comes to is perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So we should not and we are not, I mean, we are not worrying about privacy and security, right? All that much. Remember, when all the technology we use it to come in contact, we were the phones that only hold a small number and text messages, and that will be having the call logs, right? So that's why we are discussing about security and privacy, right? Now, so why should we care about security and privacy? So because we are online, I mean, for your online safety, it's important to have both privacy and security, right? So what exactly come to the privacy is privacy means the rights you have to manage your personal information. Okay. So privacy means what are the rights you have to manage your personal information and how it is used if you share it. Okay. How it is used if you share it with others. Okay. And if it gets collected while surfing the online, while surfing your internet. Okay, so these we can call it as privacy. Privacy means the rights you have to manage your personal information, okay, and how it is used with others if you share it. Okay, so that we can call it as privacy. When it comes to the security, so how your personal information that we talked about, that is protected. Okay, so security refers how your information and how your personal information is protected, that we can call it as security. And when it comes to the privacy, how your the rights you have to manage your personal information. Cool with that? Privacy and security. Yes, perfect. Yeah, so okay, yeah, okay, definitely. Yeah, so when it comes to the privacy and security, so whenever the websites you are registering to, the services you are using, so the applications you install, okay, the all the companies you provide your information should be have resources to provide a secure environment, right? So they make sure the cyber criminals cannot hack their ways into stealing your users' private information, right? So now, so when coming to the differences versus privacy versus security, we can say, let's say, when you register for an account on a website, you provide them with some personal information, right? So what could happen with your private data and exactly is both the privacy and security are on point. Okay, so we can say the website uses your personal information to register your account, right? And it will safely protect your data. Okay, but when the compromise, and we can say if the privacy is compromised but security on point, okay, so at that time what will happen, your personal information gets sold to third parties by the website, right? So we have to keep in mind that there are a chances you are agreed to this privacy disclosure in the case of personal data that we will be getting shared whenever you are installing that kind of registration and applications. Okay, and whenever the privacy and security both are compromised. Okay, so at what cases it happens is when the website security weakness get exploited by the cyber criminals who will steal the user's private information, right? So this action we can call it as data breach. Okay, so data breach, we can say your personal information can end up on the black market. Depending on the information, you can even become the victim of cyber attack. Okay, so that is, we can say, both privacy and security, we can say. Now, yes, we have talked about this one, right? So when coming to the best example, and what are the countermeasures, what are the best tips to protect your privacy and security when you are online and surfing the internet and all. So what are the best tips for this is, we need to use a best cyber security product. Okay, we can some cyber security product, it means like it protect both privacy and security, right? It can be like we can say, so one of the best example for the cyber security product over here, yeah, let's say VPN service. Okay, so virtual private network software, we can say. So the VPN creates a safe tunnel, right, for your online activity. What it will do, it will encrypting all the data that's being sent or received to, or it is encrypt whatever the data you are sending on your computer, right? So it will simply put no one is able to see what you are doing online. Am I right? So regarding privacy, the VPN helps you to blocking the websites and blocking the ISPs and internet browsers from tracking online activities and information, right? In terms of security. right? So a VPN helps by protecting you from others accessing your private information and data, right? So that is best solution of cybersecurity. Now here, and another, yes, yes, be aware of information you share. Okay, this is also one kind of best tip you can say. So whatever you are sharing on the internet and all, you need to aware what information you are sharing. Okay, you might be stunned to find how many things only a single company knows about you and online activity and all, like your name, address, email, phone numbers, and visitor locations. Okay, so everything on the social media will be available, right? So we need to be aware what kind of information we are sharing, right? And we need to secure your computer. Okay, this is also one of the best tip in order to protect your privacy and security. We need to secure your computer. Like the first step into protecting your online security is by making sure the devices you are using, whatever the devices you are using, so that you prevent, you can say it should be secured, and it should prevent cyber criminals from the being able to hack like your private information and other data. Okay, so what we have to do is we need to enhance our computer security by using firewall and installing antivirus solutions. Okay, that things we need to do. So we can also take one more countermeasure and one more security tip. We need to secure your smartphones, right? So your computer is not only one that can end up with compromised security, right? So because we are also using smartphones, right? Smartphones get hacked too, right? It can be hacked. So there are a chance that your smartphone holds even more personal information, right? So your computer does not, we cannot carry sometimes computer, right? We'll be carrying our mobile phones and smartphones, right? So we need to be very secure your smartphones, right? So this is bit about security and privacy. So in order to maintain the privacy, in order to maintain the security, we need to take some security tips, and we need to follow some security tips in order to maintain that, right? Now, what is information security, right? So far we have discussed about a few terms about information security, right? Now we are entering into this information security. What exactly the information security and why it is important? Yes. Okay, coming to the information security, you can see on the screen, information security refers to the protection of information and information systems. Okay, so that use, store, and transmit information from unauthorized access or destruction, right, and alteration, right? Now, so information security is not only about securing information from the unauthorized access. Okay, information security is basically the practice of preventing unauthorized access. Okay, like unauthorized disclosure and disruption, modification, and destruction of the information, right? So this is about information security, right? And now information can be physical one and it can be electronic one, right? Information can be anything like your details, or we can say your profile and social media, your data in mobile phone, your biometrics. Okay, so these all are comes under information, right? Now, so why it is important? Why information security is important? Why information security is important? Any idea? Yes, because information security is various measures to prevent it from getting into wrong hands. Yes, Sohan, to prevent from unauthorized access. Perfect, Anushka. Yes. information security. Okay, why information security is and why it is important is information security is various measures like which will protect information from the unauthorized persons. Okay, and what it will do, however, digital information also needs to be protected. Okay, when it comes to the information, digital information also needs to be protected, not only virtually but also physically. Like let's say if you install antivirus, okay, what antivirus will do, it will protect your digital information right inside your laptop, inside your whatever the computer details, that will be protected from the antivirus, right? But antivirus will not help if any outsider steal the server itself, right? So what it will do, we can say there will be some we need to place some sort of information security measures, right? Yes. Now what does information security guard? Okay, so it is responsible for we can say when it comes to the information security, and you can see before going to the information security principles and all, now you need to aware about what is information security, what is cyber security, what is network security, right? So anyway, we are going to talk about network security tomorrow, but you need to know exactly what exactly the difference is. What is the difference between three of them: information security, cyber security, and network security? Yeah, you can see these term, or we can say, are not the same. Okay, each address each security. Okay, we can say it will address different kinds of security. Okay, and it's important for any organization that investing in proper security framework in order to understand the term, what it means, and what is the difference between exactly these things, and what are they. Okay, how these information security, cyber security, network security can overlap. Okay, so what is the difference between three of them? Okay, now we will be discussing now. First, coming to the information security, okay, it will be protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. So no matter whatever the information is from, okay, like information security can just easily be about protecting information about information systems. Okay, like the best, when we talk about information security, it's all about protecting the information from unauthorized user. Okay, from the unauthorized user or unauthorized access and data modification. Okay, and in order to provide confidentiality, integrity, and availability, yes, CIA, right? Now what it will deals with is exactly the information security is it deals with protection of data from any form of threat, any form of threat. Okay, and information security deals with the protection of data from any form of threat, but it strives against unauthorized access, disclosure, modification, and disruption. Cool. Yes, and also it can, the information security deals with information assets and integrity, confidentiality, and availability, right? Now what is cyber security? Okay, cyber security is also one kind of information security system. So what it will do, it will protect the information from the cyber attacks. Okay, let's say uh, cyber security, we can exclusively, we can call it as protection of data that originates in a digital form. Okay, it's specific to digital files. Okay, we can say that is the main difference, we can say, digital files. Okay, so we are discussing digital information systems and networks, right? It will be protecting the digital information from the cyber attacks. We can call it as cyber security over here. So where these two terms, information security and cyber security, can overlap. Yes, these two. Okay, there is some overlap between cyber security and information security. So we can say in information security, the primary concern is protecting the CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability of the data. But in the cyber security, the primary concern is protecting against unauthorized electronic access to the data. Okay, so that is the main difference. So in both of these things, it is important to understand what data, if accessed without authorization, is most damaging to the organization. Okay, now, so network security, coming to the network security. Okay, it is a subset of cyber security, we can say. We can say it is a best practice of securing the networks against unauthorized access, misuse, and interference. Yes, interruption of services at network level, right? So that is a subset of, we can say, cyber security. That is, we can call it as network security. So now, yes, have you all understood about these three terms? What exactly it is? What is information security, what is cyber security, and what is these things are? Yes, everyone cool with this one? Information security, cyber security, and network security. Perfect. Yes, yes, can you summarize one more time? Okay, yes, uh, in information security, the primary concern, the first motive is protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data, right? So when it comes to the information security, every company is dealing with the sensitive information, right? So whatever the sensitive information is company are dealing with, that information should be maintained confidentiality, integrity, and availability, right? So whatever the data in the form, okay, it should provide, the information security will provide confidentiality, integrity, and availability of the data. Okay, but in terms of cyber security, it is a one kind of information security system. So the primary point or the primary concern is it is protecting against the unauthorized electronic access to the data from the cyber attacks. Okay, so in both of them, it is important to understand is that what data, if accessed without authorization, so that we can call it as the most damaging to the organization. Okay, so the difference between, we can say, information security and cyber security is, the best examples for cyber security, we can say network security comes under cyber security, and application security, and cloud security, and critical infrastructure, that we can call it as cyber security. These are comes under cyber security. Okay, but when it comes to the information security, procedural controls, access controls, technical controls, compliances controls. Okay, these comes under information security. So what is procedural controls is, we can say, which will prevent or detect or minimize security risks to any physical asset, such as computer system or data centers, or even we can say firewalls. Okay, these kind of things. Okay, we can call it as procedural controls. And when it comes to the access controls, so these controls dictate who is allowed to access or use company's information and the company network. Okay, so these access control comes under information security. And technical controls, like these controls involves using multi-factor or user authentication at login at firewalls and antivirus solutions, right? So these are technical controls. And sim solutions comes under, we can say, These are controls. Multi-factor user authentications comes under technical controls, and compliances controls, like we can say these type of controls dealing with the privacy laws and cyber security standards, which are designed to minimize the security threats. Okay, so these all are comes under information security. Okay, yes. When it comes to, okay, Akshay, what is critical infrastructure? Okay, let's say when it comes to the critical infrastructure, a set of foundation tools which will provide a security services such as virus scanners, intrusion prevention system, IPS, and anti-malware solutions, and more. Okay, these kind of things comes under critical infrastructure. Yes. Now, yes, when it comes to the pillars of security, when it comes to the pillars of security, guys, now what is confidentiality, what is integrity, and what is availability? Okay, first we'll discuss on these three things, CIA triad. So what is meant by confidentiality, guys? What is meant by confidentiality? How we can ensure the confidentiality? Yes, the data should not be shared or disclosed. Okay. Okay, not share to others. Authorized users can access the data. Yes, perfect. Yes, perfect. Okay. So now every information should system maintain these things, right? Confidentiality, integrity, availability when it comes to the security, right? Now, confidentiality means, yes, you can see on the screen, any assurance that the information is accessible only to the authorized to have access, right? Now, it means the information is not disclosed to any authorized individuals. Okay. Like, for example, if you say, I have a password for my Gmail account. Okay. But someone saw while I was doing a login to the Gmail account. So in that case, my password has been compromised and confidentiality has been breached. Okay, information is not disclosed, that is confidentiality, right? If anyone steal your passwords and all, it means the confidentiality has been breached, right? So when it comes to the, yeah, before going to the integrity and all, how we can ensure the confidentiality, how we can ensure the confidentiality, how we can ensure, yes, by doing encryption techniques and all, we can ensure the confidentiality, right? Now, yes, integrity have to maintain the data is original form that should not be altered or damaged. Yes, perfect. Yes, we can say what is integrity exactly is. It means maintaining a accuracy or completeness of data. It means so data cannot be edited, or we can say it is an unauthorized way. Okay, so it cannot be edited in a unauthorized way, that we can call it as integrity. For example, let's say example for the integrity, we can say if an employee leaves an organization, okay, in that case what will happen, the data for that employee in all the departments, like we can say if you take HR departments, and we can say accounts department, so in the all the departments, that employee information should be updated. Okay, it should be updated, like reflect, like we can say that he has job let and this employee has left the organization, that So these kind of details should be updated, right? So that the data is complete and accurate. So in addition, we can say, so this only authorized person should be allowed to edit this kind of employee data, right? So that is integrity. So when it comes to, yeah, yeah, yes. So when it comes to the integrity, how we can ensure the integrity exactly is, let's say, so whenever we are sending a file to the someone, what we are doing, so how we can ensure the integrity of that file by doing hash of that particular file. Okay, so we will be using multiple hashing techniques over here in order to maintain the integrity. Okay, and we can say hash, the file of the hash or something, we can say hash is irreversible. We cannot take that particular hash into the particular file and particular content. We cannot do that. Hash is irreversible. Now, what is meant by availability? Yes, availability means information must be available whenever we need it, right? Whenever the information is needed, it must be available, right? For example, for this availability example, you can say, if one needs to access information of a particular employee, okay, when you talk about one organization, if anyone needs to access information of a particular employee to check whether the employee has outstanding number of leaves, so in that case what it requires collaboration from different organizational teams, like network operations teams, like development operations, like in these kind of teams will be needed, right? So we can say whatever the information is there in the organization, that information must be available 24 by 7, 365 days. Okay, so the best easiest example for availability is, let's say you do have your account in Facebook, right? So whenever you're logging into the Facebook account, okay, in your profile, whatever the profiles you have shared, whatever the content you have shared, whatever the up videos you have uploaded, right? So that kind of information must be available 24 by 7, 365 days, right? So that is availability. Cool. Now, so what is non-repudiation, guys? Yes, what is non-repudiation? Yes, please unmute yourself. Yes, yes, yes. What is non-repudiation exactly? Is no one can deny sending or receiving that. Perfect, right? So we cannot deny the things, right? We cannot deny the things, right? So that we can call it as non-repudiation, right? So the example for the non-repudiation, guys, the example for the
Digital
non-repudiation.
signature.
Yes, perfect. So whenever, yes, like emails and SMS, whenever you send something and something which we cannot deny it, right? That there is a proof of that particular thing, right? So that is non-repudiation is also we can say. Now, yeah. So before going to further concept, first let me go back and discuss about few we can say how we can ensure the confidentiality by doing encryption, and by doing what? By doing keeping passwords and two-factor authentications and biometric verification. We can do that our information, and we can make that information is confidential, right? And when it comes to the integrity, what we can do? We can do the user access controls and version control and backup and recovery procedures. We can do that, and error detection software also we can do that. Yes, when it comes to the availability, how we can ensure the availability is like we can say in order to mitigate the threats when it comes to the data availability. Okay, threats to data availability, what we can do, offsite backups we can maintain, and disaster recovery we need to maintain, and proper monitoring is needed, and we can say yes, continuous operational planning is needed, right? Yeah. When it comes to the non-repudiation, when it comes to the non-repudiation, so non-repudiation is the assurance, right, that someone cannot deny the validity of something. Okay. So it is legal concept that is widely used in information security, like it refers to a service which provides a proof of origin, right? Proof of origin of data, that integrity of the data, right? So it makes it very difficult to successfully deny who or that particular message is came from exactly, right? So the authenticity and integrity of that message. Okay, basically we will be using digital signatures combined with measures like digital signatures can often non-repudiation. So when it comes to online transaction, so it is crucial to ensure that party to a contact or communication, we cannot deny the things, right? So we will be using the digital signatures in order to maintain the non-repudiation and all. Yes. Now, so what is authenticity, guys? What is authenticity? Yeah, when it comes to authenticity, okay, when it comes to authenticity, it means authenticity is what it will assure that it is a message, transaction, other exchange information from the source, right? It claims a form like authenticity involves a proof of identity. Yes, I can simply say that what authenticity exactly is. Yes, every authorized person must be authenticated, right? Every authorized person must be authenticated in order to use that particular services, right? So we will be verifying authenticity through the authentication. So the process of authentication usually involves more than one proof of identity. Okay, so the proof might be something. Yes, please mute yourself. Yes. Thank you. Yes. So the proof might be something like user knows like password, or user might prove their identity with something they have like we can say biometrics, and systems can also provide a proof based something to the user, right? And how we can ensure the authenticity? How we can ensure the authenticity? Verifying a user of what they say and what they are. Perfect. Yes. For user interaction with the systems, or if you take any programs or each other, authentication is critical, right? User id and password input is the most relevant method for authentication, right? It also present the most problems, like passwords can stolen or forgotten, and passwords can be cracking, right? So there is a chance of attack in that. And remembering dozens of passwords and remembering keeping more passwords and all, so what we will be doing, and we'll be keeping same passwords for all of the accounts, right? So there is a chance of attacks, and there is a chance of threat to your passwords. So what we are doing over here will be having two-factor or multi-factor authentication is more common in the enterprise, we can say, when it comes to the organizations and all. Okay, basically multi-factor authentication systems may use smart cards or usb tokens or public key infrastructure authentication. Okay, and what it will do, it will use digital certification, digital certificates which are issued by a central, or you can say ca. Okay, so these are the things which can ensure the authenticity. Okay, now, so what is the importance of authenticity? What is the importance of authenticity? what is the importance of authenticity? Yes, yes. So when coming to the importance of authenticity, we can say the easy of spoofing email source address. Email is still one of the universal application that rarely provides authenticity for the recipient, right? So almost all modern email solutions include the capability to use digital certificate like PKIs, public key infrastructure, right? So they are free and very inexpensive, we can say. So that are all available. Still, understanding and implementing user certificate in email applications like and browsers is difficult for the average internet user, right? So for that, we will be having like so why it is important exactly is, we can say, yeah. So identity theft seems to be important enough, and that why we are using authenticity. Authenticity is very important when it comes to authenticate a genuine user. So what is accountability? Okay, when it comes to accountability, so every individual who works with an information system should be have specific responsibility for say information assurance, right? Yeah. Coming to the accountability, it is an essential part of information security plan. Like we can say, it means every individual who works with an information system should have specific responsibilities for the information assurance. Okay, we can say a individual is responsible for a part of overall information security plan, and he can be readily measurable by a person who has managerial responsibility. Okay, so one example, it would be a policy statement that all employees must avoid installing outside software on your company laptops and company owned information infrastructure. Okay, so it means the person in charge the information security should be perform periodic checks to be certain that policy is being followed by everyone in the organization or not. Okay, so every information asset should be owned by an individual in the organization who is primarily responsible for that particular thing. So that we can call it as accountability. Now, yes, we do have information classification in information security. Okay, now when it comes to the information classification, so we can say in today's world information is one of the essential part of our life, right? So regarding this, we will be discuss some information on the basis of different organization and different parameters we'll be considering. So information in organization should be categorized. Okay. So when we talk about any sensitive information, any confidential information, that information must be categorized in the organization, and it must be kept confidential. So that's why information security comes into the picture. Okay, so that's why information security plays a vital role for any organization. So the main reason for classifying the information, right? So there is a reason for classifying the information, right? So the main reason for classifying the information, yes, am I audible to everyone, guys? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. So the main reason for classifying the information is that not all data, okay, we can say not all the information, whatever the companies are maintaining, so that data has same level of importance or the same level of, we can say, criticality to an organization. Okay, so some data are more valuable to people who make strategic decisions, like we can say senior management people, and because they're making long time and long run decisions, right, in order to make the company better and in order to run the business in good way, they will be taking the decisions, right? So they will be having some, we can say, more, the data is valuable to few people, right? The data is more valuable to people who make strategic plans and strategic decisions. And when coming to the some data such as trade secrets, and business strategies and these kind of things, we can say these are marketing stuff, right? So these are valuable to the loss. We can say it could create a significant problems for the enterprise organizations, and we can say organization people. So information used and in order to prevent unauthorized disclosure and result in failure of confidentiality. Okay, so that's why we should classify the information as per our needs, and as per the organization, the information should be classified and maintained confidentiality. Okay, now, so there are two schemes when it comes to the information classification. Like, when it comes to the government organization, it should be different. When it comes to the private organization, it should be, there is something different, we can say. So we can say when it comes to the levels, what are the levels in the government organization? Okay, so what are the levels in the government organization for information classification, or there will be unclassification tag will be there. It means the information that is neither sensitive or nor classified. This means the public release of this information does not violate the confidentiality. Okay, so when we are talking about the government organization, so the first one is unclassified data, unclassified information. It means, so whatever the publicly releasing the information, so that information does not violate the confidentiality of the particular organization. Okay, that is unclassified of the information. Now, when it comes to the sensitive but unclassified, another one. Okay, sensitive but unclassified, it means information that has been designed as a major secret, but it may not create a serious damage if disclosed. Okay, so that is sensitive but unclassified, we can say information that has been designed as a major secret but may not create a serious damage to the organization. Okay, and third one is confidential. Okay, so the unauthorized disclosure or unauthorized disclosure of confidential information could cause some damage to the country's national security. Okay, so that is confidential. When it comes to the secret, okay, so when we're talking about the government organization, there is a secret data is there. It means the unauthorized disclosure of this information could cause serious damage to these countries and organizations security. Okay, and now when you're talking about the top secret classification of the data, it means the highest level of information classification, this one. Okay, any unauthorized disclosure of top secret information will cause grave damage to the country's national security. Okay, in terms of government organization. Okay, now when it comes to the private, when it comes to the private organizations, like, there will be two things, three things, like, public and sensitive and private. Okay, like, when it comes to the private organization, so what exactly the sensitive is? Information that required a higher level of classification than normal data. Okay, so this information is protected from a loss of confidentiality as well as loss of integrity owing an unauthorized alteration. Okay, so that is sensitive, comes under sensitive. So when it comes to the public, whatever the information that is similar to the unclassified information, so however if it is disclosed, it is not expected to seriously impact the particular company. Okay, so that is public. So when it comes to the private, okay, this is the information we can say consider of a personal nature, like, and it is intended for a company's use only. Okay, it's not, we can say it is disclosure could, we can say, affect the company or its employees salary levels of medical information, or it could be considered as examples of private information. Okay, so when we're talking about the in terms of uh, private organization, the information can be public use, the information can be internal use, so confidential and top secret. So these are the things. So all the companies will be maintaining the information, right? Here, yeah, when it comes to the public, so the some information is publicly accessed, and when it comes to the internal, employees can use that particular information. So when it comes to the confidential, only authorized person should be able to access to this confidential, and this top secret, we can say, in the organization, that will be more confidential information when it comes to the private organization. Okay, yeah, but we are talking about classification of the data, right? But there is a criteria for this information classification. Okay, let's say one organization is dealing with the data, right? So whenever they want to do the data information classification, okay, so what criteria they will approach and what parameters they will take is, like, they will take value, they will take age of the information, they will take the useful, and they will take the personal association. Like, we can say, when it comes to the volume, it is the most commonly used criteria for classifying the data or classifying the information in the private sector of organization, like private sectors. If the information is valuable to an organization, it needs to be classified. Okay, that is value. Okay, so if the information is having some value, means that kind of information must be classified. Okay, and next one is age. So what exactly the age is. So the classification of the information may be lowered if the information values decrease over time. Okay, so that is age. The classification of the information may be lowered if the information value decrease over time. Okay, so that is age of the information. And next, useful life. Like, information will be more useful if it will be available to make the changes as per the requirements, then it will be more useful, right? So that is useful life. And next, when it comes to the personal association criteria, like, if the information is personally associated with a specific individuals, or associated with is addressed by a privacy law, then it may need to be classified. Okay, so when in the organization, if they are maintaining the information, means, so that kind of particular information must be classified as per the needs, so then only we can protect our information. Okay, information must be classified as per public use, as per internal use, confidential, or top secret. Now, yes, when it comes to, when we are talking about the threats to the information security, okay, when we are talking about threats to the information security, you can see on the screen, there is a chance of theft of intellectual properties, and there is a chance of identity theft, theft of equipment and information. Okay, and sabotage, information extortion, technology with weak security. Okay, technology with weak security. Yes, when we talk about threat of intellectual properties, it means, what exactly it is, guys? It means violation of intellectual property rights, like copyrights, patents. So these comes under intellectual properties. Okay, this is a chance of, and there is a chance of intellectual property threat. And next one is identity theft. It means to act someone else to obtain one person person's information, or in order to access a vital information, they have like accessing the computer or social media accounts of a person by logging to their accounts by using their login credentials. Okay, that is identity theft. And when it comes to the theft of equipment and information, it means it is increasing these days. Like due to the mobile nature and due to the movability and all, the mobile nature of the devices and increasing information capacity, right? So the equipment and information can be theft. And next, we can say sabotage. It means destroying company's website to cause loss of confidence on part of its customer. Okay, that is sabotage. Next, information extortion. What exactly the information extortion means? It means theft of company's property, or we can say information to receive payment exchange. For example, for this, let's say ransomware may lock your victim files, making them inaccessible, right? So what they will do, they will forcing victim to make payment in exchange, right? So only after payment you are able to unlock your files, you are able to see that particular files, and it will be unlocked, right? So these are old generation attacks. Whatever theft, intellectual property, identity theft, theft of equipment and information, sabotage, information extortion. Okay, these comes under old generation attacks that continue these days also. Okay, but we can say advancement in the information security. So apart from these, there are many major threats are there. Like you can see on the screen, technology with weak security and social media attacks and mobile malwares, outdated security software, corporate data and personal devices, okay, and social engineering. Okay, so these are, whenever you're talking about information security is evolving, right? So this means these is chance of threats to the information security. Okay, when you talk about technology with weak security, what it means exactly is, let's say, with the advancement in the technology, okay, with every passing day a new gadget is being released, am I right? Every day a new gadget, new mobile phone is being released in the market, right? But very few are fully secured and follow some information security principles, right? So the market is very competitive, security factor is compromised to make device more up to date, right? So these kind of things leads to theft of data or information from the devices. Okay, so that is technology with weak security. Technology is increasing, but all the devices which are coming to the market are not following the security principles. Okay, so that is also comes under technology with weak security. Now, social media attacks. So what exactly the social media attack is? In the cyber criminals, so what they will do in the social media attacks, so they will identify and infect a cluster of website, and that person of a particular organization visit that particular website to steal the information. Okay, like whenever you're visiting any social media accounts and all, so whenever you're visiting that particular organization and whenever you're visiting that particular organization websites and all, they will steal your information, right? So that comes under social media attacks. Okay, like phishing. Yeah, the people will be stealing the, we can say they will be creating a fake web pages. Whenever click on that particular links, what will happen, it will be redirect to the malicious page. When you enter any kind of credential over here, that kind of credential will be stolen by the attackers, right? So that is, we can say, social media, under social media. Yes, when it comes to the mobile malware, what exactly the malware is? Malicious software, right? So mobile malware, there is we can say, there is one word called sentence, like we can say, when there is a connectivity to the internet, okay, definitely there is a danger to the security, right? Yeah. So you whenever you ask anyone and when can your chances of cyber threats and all. So if we are connecting to the internet means there is a chance of threat, right? There is a chance of threat, right? So you are connecting to your internet means there will be always a danger to the security. Okay. So when it comes to the mobile phones, when gaming applications are designed, what it will do when you're downloading, it will lure your customer and download the game unintentionally in your mobile phone. They will always install malware or virus on your device. Okay. So that is mobile malwares. So whenever you're downloading unknown files, whenever you click on the suspicious links and all, automatically that will be infected your mobiles and all. Okay. So these kind of threats to be information security. Next, we do have outdated security software. Okay, so exactly what outdated software security is, like every day new emerging threats will be rising, right? Every day. So with new threats emerging every day and updation in the security software is mandatory, right? To have a fully secured environment. Okay, outdated security software leads to a threat to the information security. Okay, so we should be very updated. Whatever the solutions we are using, we should be update, and whatever the updates released by the vendors, whatever the products you are using, you should be up to date. So then only you can avoid that kind of attacks on your solutions and the devices. Now, corporate data and personal devices. Okay, these days every organization follow a rule like bring your own device and like laptops or tablets to the workplace. Clearly, it means it poses a serious threat to the security of data. But due to productivity issues, the organizations are arguing to the adopt this. Okay, now social engineering. So whatever we have discussed so far, definitely for the mobile malwares or social media attacks like phishing and anything, there is a countermeasures and we can take the countermeasures and there is a mitigation steps. But when it comes to the social engineering and all, there is no mitigation for that. The only mitigation is that we need to educate the people about the social engineering techniques. So when it comes to the social engineering, there will multiple techniques which are followed by the attackers, or like uh, we can say eavesdropping. Okay, eavesdropping and all. So like tailgating, and we can say fishing, smishing, and farming, whaling. These comes under social engineering attacks, which are followed by the attackers. Okay, so what they will do in the social engineering, they will manipulate the user mindset. Okay, they will trick the user mindset in order to get the confidential information, or we can say, or confidential, we can say credentials. In order to steal the credentials or confidential information, they will use the social engineering techniques in order to trick the user mind. They will be using the social engineering techniques. So only one way to mitigate out of these social engineering attacks is we need to educate the people about the social engineering attacks and the techniques in the company, in the organization. So in this art of manipulating people, what they will do, they will give up the confidential information like bank account details, and they will be giving the password details, etc., right? So these criminals can trick you into giving up your private and confidential information. Okay, so or they will gain your trust to get access to your computer or install malicious software. Okay, for example, email or message from your friend, so that was probably not sent by your friend. Okay, so these kind of things will be happen to you, right? Happen to everyone. So that kind of things when comes to the social engineering attacks, so that is also leads to the information security threat. Okay, yeah. Examples of information security, already we have discussed about these things, right? We can say procedural controls, access controls, technical controls, compliances controls comes under these things. Examples of information security. Okay, so what they will do in the case of social engineering and all. So there is a social engineering, we can say, methodology is there. So first they will finalize the target, they will research about the target, next they will choose the target. After choosing the target, what they will do in the social engineering, they will maintain the relationship in that. So after maintaining the relationship and all, what they will do finally, they will exploit that particular relationship. Okay, so that we can call it as social engineering attack phase, attack methodology, which are used by the attackers. Okay, that comes under social engineering techniques. So what is meant by eavesdropping? Okay, this eavesdropping is the one of the techniques used by the social engineering attackers. It means what they will do, they will listen to your conversation. Okay, someone is listen to your conversation, we can call it the eavesdropping. Okay, and what is meant by piggybacking and what is meant by tailgating? Any idea about that? What is meant by piggybacking and what is meant by tailgating? What is meant by tailgating? Any idea, guys? You can put it in the chart. Tailgating technique and piggybacking technique. Any idea about that? Okay. So these are the techniques in the social engineering used by the attackers. So tailgating in the sense following an authorized person in order to enter into a restricted area. Okay. So that is tailgating. Okay, so when it comes to the piggybacking, what we'll do, we'll be using someone else authority to in order to enter into that particular restricted area. Okay, someone is there for us in order to help into that particular situation, in order to enter into that particular unrestricted area. We can say restricted, in order to enter into a restricted area, someone is there to help us, that will be calling as piggybacking. And tailgating is, as an attacker, we will be following someone else, some authorized person in order to enter into this particular restricted area, that we can call it as yes, piggybacking and tailgating. Yes. What is meant by shoulder surfing, guys? When it comes to the social engineering, shoulder surfing. Shoulder surfing means looking over someone's shoulder in order to get the confidential information. Let's say the best example for the shoulder surfing is whenever you enter into an ATM. Okay, you are into a ATM, you are going to withdraw some amount from the ATM. So as a attacker, I will be I will be standing beside you and I will be looking over your shoulder for the whatever the pin you are entering. Okay, so that is shoulder surfing. Looking over someone credentials is known as shoulder surfing. Looking over someone's shoulder is called as shoulder surfing. Okay, now one more technique used in the social engineering, guys, is, we can say, dumpster diving. What exactly the dumpster diving? Dumpster diving means like sometimes useful information can be found in the dumps, right? Someone's trash, right? Looking over someone else's trash is known as dumpster diving. Let's say whenever you order something from the Amazon, from the Flipkart and all, you will be getting that package, you will be receiving that package, right? So whenever you have taken that particular item from that box, what you will do, definitely you will throw that box or throw that package cover and all, you will be throw it somewhere in your home or outside of the home, right? So what attackers they will do, they will bring that and they will collect that particular sheet and all, they will plan for the attack. So nowadays when you're planning and whenever ordering something from these things, that cover contains your home address, your mobile number, your mail id, so what exactly your phone number and all these kind of information will be there on that particular package, right? Package cover, right? So attacker will use that information, they will plan for the attack, like they will be create some fake package and they will be sending you they will be sending you for your home to your home whenever you're not at home, that your family members will be collecting that package, right? So that is comes under dumpster diving. Going through someone else's trash and collecting the details and attacking a particular person is known as dumpster diving. Okay, these are the social engineering techniques which are we can also call to the information security threats.